Chinese dev exposed how modern audience creeps are trying to take over gaming. So a Chinese dev went to one of those areas like Sweden. It'll likely say in the video. I'm just gonna get straight into the video.
So over on NeoGAF, there's been this crazy post talking about this situation from China, where a Chinese indie dev went over to Sweden for a game design master program, saying the guy took some pictures of lecture slides and shared it on social media. Let's take a look at some of these slides. We've got this one saying men with breasts. Is that Lara Croft? The freak are they talking about? The next one we've got Exhibit A saying Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy VII 1997, and then again in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Magnificent dress, I think it says. We can't see the full text. You can also see in the bottom line it says something something as queer. They then translated Swedish to Chinese, and someone translated Chinese back over to English using a image translation service, presumably on the internet. We could see that the slide had said something like, design a fighting game character that is neither male nor female. Think specifically about how they move through the world. How do they walk? How do they jump? How do they squat and get over obstacles? How do they attack and what attacks do they use? How and what do they defend? What special moves might they have? Then it says in gender studies, something I can't read here, radical feminism, queer theory, something else too small, Marxist feminism, and decolonial theory. The next slide says 2014 hashtag Gamergate. Research has changed since Gamergate. Hashtag Gamergate is a campaign organized by right-wing extremists, 4chan, 8chan, to massive harassment campaigns against women, racial and sexual minorities, and the abstract concept of progress. Gamergate reaches mainstream attention. Gamergate sparked a debate about how women and marginalized people are treated in the gaming industry and discussion about survival in the game. This game design master program is like every cliche about some brain rotted, politically obsessed weirdo combined. These people don't even seem to actually like video games. They're just using it to try and spread their weird rhetoric. The title of this thread, by the way, if you go to Sweden for Game Design Master Program, you'll likely be taught that Cloud Strife is a classic transgender character design. All because out of the entire game of Final Fantasy VII, there's like 5 minutes where Cloud wears a dress to infiltrate this club. Oh, hey, he's got to be trans. By the way, what a great way to reinforce gender stereotypes. And these people actually talk about making societal progress. But once again, all they really do is reinforce gender norms. And they never see this hypocrisy with their rhetoric because they're too blinded by their own fake moral superiority, acting like they're the most virtuous people out there. And of course, if you disagree with their lame, insane rhetoric, you're just a far-right extremist. On that note about Cloud Strife, you also might find this pretty dang amusing. So there was a Substack article posted on February 1st, 2024 titled, Prove to Me You're the Man, an analysis of gender and sexuality in Final Fantasy VII. Also known as my long-winded excuse for saying why Cloud Strife is trans. With the upcoming release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, my mind is filled with nostalgia for the original game, while I personally never played it. Yeah, so that's all that we need to read. As you can see, these sort of people that want to use games to facilitate their political brain rot are in reality just a bunch of posers. Of course, that doesn't mean that every gamer needs to play Final Fantasy VII. I'm specifically talking about these sort of people within all of the context that we went over. Now, returning to the Chinese dev who crashed the Sweden Game Design Master Program, well, it seems like they found out that their panels were leaked, and they're very upset that this stuff got released to the internet. The dev having provided more information over on a Chinese platform that reads, my post had a negative impact on the school's reputation, and many LGBT students were also psychologically harmed, as well as teachers and classmates in the photos. I'm sorry, but I won't be making any more posts like this in the future. Just now, the director of the academy called me to the office and then directly projected the post I made in Bar B on the big screen, and then asked Kobe if it was me. After being told I would have a serious negative impact on the school, teachers, and LGBT classmates by posting such posts, I realized my mistake and promised not to post such things in the future. You're telling me that the school's claiming that this harmed them so much and psychologically harmed people when all this person really did was be like, yo, here's what they're teaching in this class. I think that alone speaks volumes about the sort of nonsense that's going on there. Ultimately, I just thought you guys would find this interesting for very obvious reasons. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you.
Well,
Okay, what's your thoughts?
if they're going to get so offended by somebody posting what they're teaching in the classroom, then maybe they should rethink what they're teaching in the classroom.
Yeah, I think Cloud wearing a dress being a comedy skit, I think it was done that way in the game. Like he had to infiltrate something and it was a funny thing, but I doubt it was that way when they were presenting and teaching in that classroom.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if they're going to get offended by somebody showing what they're teaching in the classroom, then maybe they should rethink what they're teaching.
Yeah, it's like some of the comments here. Trying, they've already done it, mate. I always found that, to say mate funny, but whatever some people do. I bet USAID funded this conference. The cucks in the north of their own version called SIDA behind the whole lot of fucked up shit. So I'm not familiar with this SIDA or however it's said, but I imagine it's just yet another variation of DEI program. Funnily, in Spanish, SIDA means HIV.
Oh God. Oh no.
Okay. Mentally ill weirdos are running gaming. And they're right. They're
Yeah.
right. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly. School trying to silence the news about it. It's one hell of a ironic funny. I thought these people were so proud of what they are doing. Why being so shy from people talking about them doing what they are doing? I think the school teachers know what they are doing and supporting is literally grifting, but the narrative demands the continuous grifting, or they will have to accept the reality that they are not nothing of moral saviors that they think they are, but parasitic grifters.
Yeah. I remember when if somebody posted something, they made public what was being taught in the classroom, that was a good thing because it got the information out, more people were interested, they would get more funding and stuff like that. If they're going to be offended by, like I said, if they're going to be offended by what somebody posted that they're teaching in the classroom, then they need to rethink what they're teaching because they know what they're teaching is wrong.